Good afternoon, all. Camelback Trading 2724 coming to you this Friday afternoon, November 22nd. Looking at the last bunch of days in the market profile on the SPY ETF. And after an inside day, bulls come out of it on the upside on a very small gap that gets filled immediately. Give up the inside day up almost immediately again. Flush out, hold yesterday's M and value low, and then spent the next 1, 2, 3, 4 hours grinding up till M had to flush out, and now we're trading right back up at the high. We never could get back up above yesterday's high. I mean, we got it. I shouldn't say that. We got it by 2 ticks in both L and M, but the inside day up failed. Now, as far as I'm concerned, my trade, I did something totally the opposite of what I said I would do this morning. I said if we open up, right, I was giving all the scenarios. If we gap higher, fill the single prints and hold the gap, I'll go long. I said if we if we go higher but fail, come back in and get back into K around the JKL area, I'll go short. Well, Paul didn't listen to his own advice because in a period, when we came down, I took a long. I'm sorry, I didn't do anything in A period. B period, I apologize. I didn't do anything in A period. I watched it. B period, I didn't even do anything when we took out the high, when we took out A's high. Now, the ES has a poor high. I do not. We took it out by 2 ticks. But when B came down, I started buying it. We had higher value. The gap filled. I thought maybe since the gap filled, we had higher value, we would hold JK and L high and then attempt to come out of the inside day up. Well, obviously that did not happen right away. When we went down pretty hard. And I've done this at least 2 times this week, if not 3. Maybe it was once last week. Where instead of getting out of the trade and going with the trade that was right, because I'm trying to teach people, both on my website and on here, the trade was obviously to get out of long and go short. Because I said if we get inside of here, we're going to trade down to M. And that's exactly what we did. So instead of having a nice, easy, winning trade, I did nothing but add on to my long. And boy, was it got big. And we were one time framing down. And we had a set of single prints in C. The only thing that I was really leaning on, value was higher. It went to overlap into higher, but at least it was still higher. And I was banking on us holding M's low. I mean, generally when you come out of you take out a high or a low and then come back in, the opposite extreme is your destination. And believe me, I was worried about that. D opened, took out C's low, got even bigger, right at the low of the day. Got pretty big. Was out a lot. Luckily, D battled. It kept battling, got back into C, and then when E opened, again, just like the other day when I did this, a trade that I struggled a lot in, when E finally opened and it couldn't even come down, take out C's low, I was comfortable enough, started selling it, and then when we came up, I basically got flat right when we filled the single prints. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. Yes, no, when we filled the single prints, right. It was A's low. I made money on the trade. It was the wrong trade again. The risk reward was horrible. So I'm telling you this to learn from it. I'm telling you because you're not going to be able to outlast the market. You're not going to be able to bully the market. That should have been out of that trade as soon as B started trading down, and especially once C took out B's low. After that, the only trade I did was I faded, I think it was an H or I. I took a short position, wrote it down. Now again, we're in 4 or 5 tick increments, so it doesn't look as big. It wasn't a big trade, but it wasn't bad. And basically watched the rest of the day because that trade absolutely depleted my mental reserve, without a doubt. So learn from these things. Okay, destinations for Monday. Today's high of 311.24 will be our first destination. Then 311.82 daily high, 311.98, 11 wide for the 19th. 312.69 is now a weekly high, an all-time high, and 313.13 your pre-market all-time high. For the downside, we're 9 wide at 310.81. Then again, we don't have anything to today's low of 309.85. Then we have the other two daily lows, 309.39 and 309.06, which is now a weekly low. So we're one time framing up now for 7 weeks. Although we stopped, the S&P, the SPY was down on the week a little bit, under 70, like 70 or 80 cents we closed down on the week. So it snapped a 6-week winning streak, but we are one time framing up for 7 weeks, because until you take out the previous week's low, you're still one time framing up. And I'll show you that in a minute. But just these 3 lows, keep these in mind. I mean, they keep getting tighter and tighter in here. And again, there's nothing below these. And this one would be a weekly low now. Just keep that in mind. All right, let's go to the charts. Monthly, up. 1 week to go in the month. We're up with an outside month up. Healthy. Weekly. One time framing up, 7 weeks. I was looking earlier, we one time framed up 9 weeks, another time 7 weeks. So we've certainly had this happen. But at some point, we had some distance. Now we closed within last week's range, because we were down 311.84. Yep, we're down just under $1. We're down for the week. So we'll see how it continues. And the daily is in balance, and balance is very subjective. That's why this is not a science, it's an art. So a lot of people say, well, that's a 3-day, 6-day, another 3, and that's fine. I'm looking at this as this is a 6-day balance, the high and the low. I mean, it's just too little. And the reason I'm not including this is because even though we got into this balance 3 times, we came out of it 3 times and closed above it. That was that 309.99 level. That was another thing I was looking at this morning. When I had that huge position, the low in the day is 309.85. So believe me, I was very, very much aware that we were now into this balance by a little bit. And if we had continued down and gotten sucked into it, I would have been in a world of hurt. But we came out of it 3 days and closed above this one. So again, it's a small range. $4 range for this last 6-day balance. And then I'm going to make this encompass this as a 9-day one. Anyway, that's the recap of the week and the day. I hope you had a good day trading. Remember, next week it's going to be slow, certainly as the week goes on. It's a half day on Friday. Have a great weekend, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.